The stars were silent above the ruined earth. Cities that once touched the sky lay in ashes. Smoke curled slowly from broken buildings, and the oceans glimmered darkly under the pale light of a shattered moon. The aliens had won. They had banished humanity from the stars, thinking the human race was finished, that Earth was a forgotten memory in the galaxy. But even in the shadows, life endured. In the deepest caves beneath what had once been New York, a small group of humans moved quietly. They carried nothing but their will to survive. Children ran through tunnels with curiosity and fear in their eyes. Elders spoke in whispers about a time when the world was full of life. Among them, a woman named Mara led the survivors. She had seen the worst of humanity's defeat, but she refused to bow to despair. Her eyes burned with a quiet fire, the kind that could not be crushed by alien fleets or collapsing empires. Above ground, alien patrols passed over the barren cities. Giant ships floated like ghosts in the atmosphere, their engines humming a song of control. They thought they had erased every trace of human ingenuity. They were wrong. For every ship that passed, humans had already built underground factories, secret tunnels, and hidden laboratories. The ruins were not dead. They were alive with purpose. One night, Mara stood at the edge of a deep chasm, looking up at the stars. She whispered to herself, "We will rise again." Around her, her people worked in silence, forging weapons, repairing ships, and decoding alien technology. They moved like shadows, careful and patient. Every moment was a step toward a future the aliens could not see. Then the first signal came. It was faint, almost impossible to notice, a simple pulse echoing through space. Scientists and engineers gathered around the glowing console in a hidden underground lab. The room was small, lit only by the blinking lights of ancient machines and screens filled with data. The signal was from Earth itself, or at least from what remained of it. It was a beacon, a call for those who survived, a reminder that humanity was not finished. "Is it them?" a young boy asked, his voice trembling. "They are out there," Mara said, her hand brushing the boy's shoulder. "And we will find them. We must." The aliens above were unaware. They moved confidently, believing their victory complete. They patrolled the skies, scanning for threats, but every scan missed the truth. Humanity was hiding, growing stronger, learning faster than any alien had predicted. What the aliens did not understand was the human ability to adapt, to find hope in hopeless places, to turn defeat into strategy. Days passed, and the signal grew stronger. Scouts were sent to investigate the pulse, small ships moving silently through the wreckage of the old world. They returned with news that made Mara smile quietly in the dark. The signal was artificial, carefully constructed, a message designed to guide those who were clever enough to follow it. Humanity was not lost. It was being tested, shaped, and prepared for the time when the galaxy would remember its true strength. Meanwhile, tension in the alien fleet began to grow. Reports of strange activity on Earth reached the High Command, but they dismissed it. "It is nothing," they said. "The humans are extinct. Their world is dead." But even in their arrogance, doubt began to whisper in their minds. Something moved below the ruins, something the aliens could not control. Mara gathered her leaders in a circular chamber deep beneath the surface. The walls were lined with maps, holographic stars, and models of alien ships. She pointed to a distant system on the map, the next target of their hidden plans. "They think we are gone. They think they won. But we have waited. We have learned. And when the time comes, we will show them the strength of humanity." Her words were not loud, but they carried through the room like fire. Each person there understood the weight of the moment. They had lived in fear, they had hidden, they had survived, and now they were ready. Not with a shout, not with pride, but with patience and intelligence. The galaxy would not see them coming until it was too late. Outside, the wind whispered through the ruined cities. A single crow perched on a broken streetlight, watching the stars. Somewhere, a ship hummed in the darkness, powered by human hands, guided by human minds. Earth, once thought dead, was quietly becoming a force the aliens could not imagine. And in the heart of it all, Mara looked up at the sky, her eyes bright with determination. Humanity was not finished. It was rising. The years passed quietly beneath the ruined Earth. Humanity grew in shadows, hidden from alien eyes. The survivors had learned patience. Every tunnel, Every abandoned building, every underground lab became a part of their growing empire. Mara's leadership guided them, her mind sharp and careful, always thinking several steps ahead. People worked day and night, building machines, repairing ships, and training young pilots. Every person knew their role. Every task mattered. In the deepest chambers of a hidden city, engineers tested weapons and ships. The humans had no fleet to match the alien armadas, but they had something stronger: cleverness. Small, fast ships darted like shadows, weapons designed to strike with precision, and shields built from scavenged alien technology. Humans had adapted alien designs into something new, something deadly. The children of the hidden world ran freely among the machines. They laughed and played with small drones, unaware of the battles that had come before their time. Yet even they felt the tension in the air, a sense that one day, they would rise from the underground and reclaim what had been stolen. Mara watched them and smiled faintly. The future of humanity was in their hands. Then came the first reports from the scouts. Small alien patrols had moved near Earth's orbit. Humans observed them silently from hidden stations in space. The aliens searched, but they did not know what to look for. Humanity had become a ghost. Every move the scouts made was watched, recorded, and analyzed. Mara stood over the star charts, pointing to the alien routes. They believe we are gone. They think they have nothing to fear. Let us make them doubt themselves, she said softly. The humans began their first tests. One by one, they sent small unmanned ships to intercept alien cargo vessels. They struck quickly, taking resources without being seen. The attacks were surgical, almost invisible. Aliens thought the losses were accidents or technical failures. Humans smiled quietly at their screens, knowing each small victory brought them closer to the day when the galaxy would hear the name of Earth again. Mara gathered her commanders in the central chamber. The air was thick with anticipation. "We are ready," she said. "For decades, we have waited. For decades we have learned. The time is coming when we no longer hide. But patience will be our greatest weapon. Strike too soon, and we will be destroyed. Strike too late, and they may notice us. Timing is everything." A young pilot, Kale, stepped forward. His eyes shone with excitement. "We are ready to fly missions, to test our strength in space. Let us show them the humans are not finished." Mara nodded. Kale and a small team of pilots moved to the hidden hangar. Ships gleamed under dim lights, small but swift, designed for speed and precision. They were the first warriors of the hidden empire, trained not only to fight but to think, to outsmart the enemy. The first mission took them to a distant asteroid base, lightly guarded by alien drones. Kale and his team slipped through the patrols, cloaked by the shadows of space. They struck quickly, disabling the base's power source, taking valuable alien technology, and disappearing before anyone could respond. Back on Earth, the hidden empire celebrated quietly. No cheers, only nods and smiles. Every victory had to remain secret. Every success had to prepare them for the larger battles ahead. But not all humans were soldiers or engineers. Scientists worked tirelessly to decode alien communication, learning their language, studying their strategy, and finding weaknesses. Every piece of information was a weapon. Humanity had learned that intelligence and knowledge could defeat strength, that patience and cunning could outlast sheer numbers. Meanwhile, in the alien fleet, concern began to grow. "Something is wrong," one officer whispered. "Ships are disappearing, technology is stolen, and we see no trace of the attackers." High commanders frowned. "Impossible," they said. "The humans are extinct. There is no one to blame." Yet doubt had taken root. The aliens could not understand what humans had become, what humanity had survived. Back in the hidden empire, Mara stood once more at the observation window, looking at the stars. Ships passed silently in the distance, carrying humans who would soon learn that the universe was bigger than anyone had imagined. "We are ready," she whispered. "And one day they will see the truth. Earth is alive. Humanity is alive. And we will rise." The first strike had been small, almost unnoticed. But it was the spark of something larger. The hidden empire was growing stronger with every passing day, every secret mission, and every mind dedicated to the cause. The galaxy might think humans were gone, but in the darkness, they were preparing. When the time came, they would not just return, They would conquer, reclaim, and rise above every alien who had ever doubted them. And for the first time in decades, the stars seemed a little brighter. The humans of Earth were no longer hiding, they were waiting. The hidden empire had waited for this moment for decades. Humanity had learned patience, studied the enemy, and built strength in secret. Now, the first major attack was about to begin. Kale stood at the edge of the hangar, his hands on the controls of his ship. His heart pounded, but his face was calm. Around him, other pilots checked weapons, calibrated engines, and reviewed maps of the alien base they were about to strike. Mara entered the hangar quietly. Her eyes scanned each pilot, stopping at Kale. "Remember," she said, "we fight not only with strength, but with brains. We strike with precision. We vanish before they can strike back. If we fail, the Empire risks exposure. If we succeed, we will be remembered." Kale nodded. "We won't fail," he said simply. He climbed into his ship, feeling the hum of the engines beneath him. Outside, the darkness of space stretched endlessly. Stars glimmered coldly, distant and indifferent. But Kale's focus was sharp. Every calculation, every maneuver had been planned. The humans were ready. The target was a small alien outpost near a resource-rich planet. The aliens believed it was secure, lightly guarded. They were wrong. Kale led the strike team through asteroid fields and debris, using the shadows of space to stay hidden. Sensors picked up the alien drones patrolling the area, but the human ships were faster and more precise. Every movement was calculated, every strike deliberate. The first shot was silent but deadly. Kale's ship released a small drone that sabotaged the outpost's power generator. Lights flickered and went out. Communications went silent. Alien soldiers scrambled, but they were confused, unsure of what had happened. Another human ship slipped in, disabling weapon systems before anyone could respond. The strike was precise, surgical. The aliens were blind to the attackers' true number and position. Kale maneuvered his ship with skill, dodging patrol drones and firing only when necessary. His team moved like shadows, coordinated and silent. One by one, they struck at key systems: energy cores, defense turrets, and communication towers. Every hit was calculated to weaken the outpost without alerting the larger alien fleet. By the time the aliens realized they were under attack, the humans were already gone. Back in the hidden empire, Mara watched the battle from the control room. Her fingers moved quickly across the console, tracking every movement of the strike team. She smiled faintly as reports came in. The first major strike was a success. "They see nothing," she whispered, "and they will not see us coming again." Kale's ship hovered over the wreckage of the outpost. Smoke rose from the damaged structures. Alien forces tried to respond, but their systems were crippled. Kale felt a rush of satisfaction. Not pride, but determination. Every strike was a message to the galaxy. Humanity was not finished. Humanity was clever, strong, and alive. When the team returned to Earth, they were greeted quietly. There were no parades, no cheers, only nods and looks of respect. Each pilot understood the significance of the mission. Every small victory was a step toward reclaiming the stars. The humans had proven their strategy worked. Patience, precision, and intelligence could outmatch even the strongest enemy. Meanwhile, the alien fleet began to notice the pattern. Ships missing, systems failing, outposts disabled. Something was happening. High-ranking officers argued in confusion. "Humans are extinct. How can this be happening?" one shouted. Doubt crept into their command. They could not understand how a species they believed destroyed was striking with such skill. Kale, exhausted but alert, walked through the hidden corridors of the Empire. Engineers and scientists studied alien technology recovered from the outpost. Weapons were repaired, systems were analyzed, and data was collected. Every piece of information strengthened the hidden empire. The humans had turned alien knowledge into their own advantage, learning faster and adapting more quickly than the enemy could imagine. Mara joined Kale in the corridor. "You did well," she said softly. "This is only the beginning. The galaxy will remember Earth, and the humans will rise higher than anyone ever imagined." Kale nodded. His mind already raced ahead, planning the next mission, thinking of ways to outsmart the aliens even further. Outside, the stars seemed quieter than before, But the humans knew the universe had changed. Humanity had shown the first sign of life, the first proof that Earth was not forgotten. And for the first time in decades, hope burned brighter than fear. The hidden empire was no longer just surviving. It was moving forward. The first strike was a message, a warning, and a promise. Humanity was back. The aliens would soon learn that the ghosts of Earth were more dangerous than anything they had ever faced. And in the darkness of space, Kale looked at the stars and whispered, "We are ready." The alien high command was in chaos. Reports from their outposts had become impossible to ignore. Systems were failing, patrols were vanishing, and communications were scrambled. High-ranking officers argued furiously, their voices echoing through the bridges of massive command ships. "It cannot be," one shouted. "The humans are extinct. How can they strike?" But the evidence was undeniable. Alien patrols sent to investigate went missing. Supplies were destroyed. Outposts disabled. Somewhere, hidden in the darkness, humans were moving with deadly precision. Doubt spread through the fleet like a virus. Even commanders who had once laughed at Earth's defeat now feared the ghost of humanity. Meanwhile, deep beneath the ruins of Earth, Mara and her leaders monitored the alien response. The hidden empire had expected this moment. Every mission, every strike, had been a test not only of skill but of strategy. Humans had learned patience, and now patience became their greatest ally. Mara's eyes scanned the holographic maps, noting the movement of the alien fleet. "They are reacting," she said quietly. "But they do not know where we are. We will stay hidden, and we will learn from them." The aliens' first counterattack came swiftly. Massive warships emerged from the shadows of nearby systems, moving with deadly precision toward suspected human activity. Sensors on Earth's hidden stations detected them immediately. Alarms echoed through tunnels and underground hangars. Engineers and pilots rushed to their stations, preparing ships, weapons, and defenses. This was the first real test of the hidden empire's strength. Kale stood at the control panel, tension heavy in his chest. "They are coming faster than expected," he said. His hands moved quickly, plotting maneuvers, calculating escape routes, and identifying vulnerable points in the alien fleet. "We cannot face them head-on. We strike with precision and then we vanish. That is our only chance." The first encounter was fierce. Alien drones swarmed toward the hidden human ships, weapons firing across the void. Kale's team dodged and weaved through the laser fire, striking at energy cores and communication arrays. Every attack was calculated, designed to confuse and delay, not to fight a battle they could not win. Humans moved like shadows, small in number but intelligent, coordinated, and fearless. On Earth, Mara watched every movement from the control room. Her fingers moved across the console with speed and certainty. She guided pilots, diverted patrols, and intercepted alien signals. Every action was precise, every instruction a thread in a web that humans had spun across space. The aliens could strike with power, but humans struck with thought, and that was their greatest weapon. Yet the tension was real. Some ships were damaged, some pilots injured. For the first time in decades, humans felt the danger of exposure. Every mistake could be fatal, every miscalculation could reveal the hidden empire to the galaxy. Kale gritted his teeth as a laser grazed his ship. Sparks flew across the cockpit, and warning alarms screamed. He pushed the engines harder, weaving through asteroid fields, using the debris to hide and confuse. The alien commanders grew frustrated. Their strength, their numbers, and their firepower should have been enough. But the humans were unpredictable, clever, and bold. Every move the aliens made was countered, every plan anticipated. Slowly, anger turned to fear. These were not the humans they had known, the weak species they had conquered decades ago. These were warriors, engineers, and strategists, hidden in plain sight. After hours of tense maneuvers, the aliens retreated, unwilling to risk further losses. Kale's team returned to Earth quietly, battered but alive. Engineers immediately began repairs, and Mara gathered the leaders. "They have shown their strength," she said, "but we have shown ours as well. We survive. We adapt. And the next time, we will strike even harder." In the corridors of the hidden empire, a new resolve spread among humans. They had faced the alien counterattack and survived. They had learned the weaknesses of their enemy and tested their own strength. Every challenge made them stronger, every battle a lesson. The hidden empire was no longer only surviving, it was growing, learning, and preparing for the day when humanity would rise openly. Outside, the stars seemed colder, distant, and silent. But beneath the ruins, humans whispered and worked, their hearts steady. The alien fleet had shown power, but humans had shown cleverness. And cleverness, patience, and unity would carry them further than brute force ever could. Mara stood once more at the observation window. Her eyes scanned the stars, alert and calculating. "They will return," she said softly. "They always do. And we will be ready." Kale looked beside her, his face tired but determined. "Next time," he said, "we do not just survive. We strike. We take the fight to them." For the first time, the hidden empire felt the weight of the galaxy's attention. Humanity was no longer invisible. The aliens had noticed them, feared them, and underestimated them. The next moves would decide the future, and humans were ready to play the game of stars. The hidden empire had grown stronger with every secret mission. Supplies, weapons, and knowledge had multiplied. The humans were no longer only surviving, they were ready to take the fight to the stars. Mara stood before the holographic map in the central chamber. Red dots marked alien outposts, fleets, and resource hubs. Blue dots marked human positions, small but cunning. Every movement had been calculated, every strike planned. "It is time," she said. "We no longer hide. We will strike where it hurts them most." Kale and his pilots were ready. Ships gleamed under dim lights in the hangar, weapons calibrated, engines humming quietly. They were faster, smarter, and more precise than any alien patrol could imagine. "We know their weaknesses," Kale said. "We have studied them. Now we act." The pilots nodded. Every human in the hidden empire understood that this mission could change the galaxy. The first offensive targeted a critical supply station in the outer rim, far from the main alien fleet. The station was heavily guarded, but humans had a plan. Small ships moved silently through asteroid fields, avoiding sensors and using shadows to remain unseen. Engineers had modified weapons to strike with perfect precision. Mara's orders were simple: disable the station, take resources, and leave without revealing the Empire's location. Kale led the strike team with skill and bravery. Drones sabotaged energy cores, weapons turrets were disabled one by one, and communication arrays were destroyed. Alien guards scrambled, confused and terrified. Humans moved like shadows, swift and silent. The strike was a complete success. No human ship was lost, and the aliens had no idea who had attacked. But this was only the beginning. Mara had sent messages to other oppressed species across nearby systems. Worlds that had suffered under the alien alliance quietly responded, sending scouts and warriors to join the human cause. Allies arrived in small numbers, careful not to draw attention, bringing technology, knowledge, and courage. Humans learned quickly from these allies, exchanging strategies and weapons designs. The hidden empire was growing not only in strength but in influence. Back on Earth, engineers repaired ships and tested new weapons. Scientists decoded alien communication, discovering weaknesses in patrol patterns, energy shields, and defense systems. Every piece of knowledge became a tool. The hidden empire was no longer just reacting. It was planning, shaping the battlefield, and preparing for larger strikes. Kale flew with his team to test the new alliances. Pilots from other worlds joined the attack, coordinating with human ships in synchronized precision. The aliens were stunned. Their patrols were disabled, outposts lost, and resources captured. The humans and their allies struck with intelligence and patience, proving that numbers were not always victory. Every strike left the aliens more cautious, more confused, and more fearful. Mara watched the reports in silence. The hidden empire had survived the first counterattack. It had won the first major offensive. And now, with allies at their side, humans were no longer alone. The galaxy was beginning to remember the name of Earth. But she knew that victory came with caution. "We have won battles," she said, "but the war is far from over. Every move must be precise. Every strike must be careful. The aliens are learning too, and they will not make the same mistake twice." Kale returned from the mission, his ship carrying valuable resources and information. The pilots shared stories of bravery, clever tactics, and unexpected challenges. Yet, despite their success, everyone remained focused. The hidden empire had tasted victory, but they knew it was only the beginning. Every ally brought strength, but also responsibility. Every action was watched, every decision mattered. In the quiet corridors of the hidden empire, children played with small drones, laughing and imitating the pilots' maneuvers. Engineers worked tirelessly on new ship designs, while scientists studied captured alien equipment. Humanity had transformed from survivors into a force of strategy, intelligence, and rising power. Every person contributed, every mind mattered. Outside, the stars seemed colder, more distant, but humans looked at them with determination. The first offensive had been a warning. Earth was alive, humans were clever, and the hidden empire was rising. Mara and Kale stood side by side, looking at the stars, knowing that the galaxy had begun to notice. Their plans were moving forward, their allies growing stronger, and the time would soon come when humanity would reveal itself fully. The humans of Earth were no longer ghosts. They were a rising power, patient, clever, and united. And the alien alliance would soon learn that underestimating humanity had been the greatest mistake of all. The galaxy had grown tense. Alien fleets scoured distant systems, searching for the hidden humans. They could no longer ignore the repeated strikes, the stolen technology, and the mysterious victories. Somewhere in the void, a new power was rising, but the aliens did not yet know its source. Mara stood before the holographic map, her eyes sharp and determined. "Today," she said softly, "we no longer hide. Today, the galaxy will see the truth." Kale and his strike team prepared for their largest mission yet. Ships lined the hidden hangars, engines humming like a low heartbeat. Pilots moved with precision, checking weapons and systems, reviewing coordinates, and memorizing escape routes. Allies from other oppressed worlds joined the ranks, their ships smaller but clever, carrying unique weapons and knowledge. The humans had built a fleet that, though smaller than the alien armada, was faster, smarter, and united by one goal: reclaim the galaxy. The target was a heavily fortified alien outpost near a strategic planet. It served as a hub for their fleet, a symbol of their control over nearby systems. Humans approached cautiously, using stealth and diversion tactics learned from previous encounters. Kale led the first wave, maneuvering through asteroid belts and debris fields, hiding the fleet's movements. Small teams disabled outer defenses while the main force prepared for a full assault. Then the strike began. Lasers lit the void, drones clashed with precision, and the humans struck at critical points. Alien shields faltered as engineers and pilots coordinated perfectly. The allied species fought alongside humans, their tactics synchronized, their courage unwavering. The battle was fierce, but humans moved like shadows, striking quickly and disappearing before the enemy could respond. For the first time in decades, alien commanders realized the truth. Reports flooded in, entire fleets had vanished, supply hubs destroyed, and communications disabled. "Impossible," one alien leader growled. "Earth, they are back. Earth is alive." The revelation sent shockwaves through their ranks. The humans they had thought destroyed were not only surviving, they were thriving, clever, and united. Fear replaced arrogance. On Earth, Mara observed the battle with calm intensity. Her fingers flew across the console, guiding the fleet with precision. Every attack was measured, every maneuver calculated. This was the moment humanity would no longer be invisible. "Show them what we are," she whispered. "Show them the strength of humanity." Kale's ship moved into the heart of the battle. He led his pilots through the enemy's defenses, disabling energy cores, crippling weapon systems, and sabotaging communication arrays. The aliens were stunned. Their fleets, once confident and unchallenged, faltered. Confusion spread among their ranks, giving humans the advantage they needed. Every strike was a statement. Earth was back, and humanity would not be ignored. The allied species fought bravely, inspired by the human skill and courage. Every small victory counted. Systems that had been thought untouchable fell. Alien ships scrambled to respond, but the humans anticipated every move, outsmarting them at every turn. The galaxy watched silently, as the balance of power shifted in ways no one had expected. When the dust settled, the alien outpost was in ruins. The humans' fleet, though battered, remained intact. Ships returned to Earth quietly, carrying prisoners, resources, and information. Engineers began repairs, scientists studied capture technology, and pilots debriefed their victories. Humanity had revealed itself, but not recklessly. Every move had been calculated, every lesson from previous strikes applied with skill. Mara stood with her leaders, looking at the reports. "They know we exist now," she said. "They fear us, but they also respect our strength. The galaxy will remember Earth, and humanity will rise higher than they ever imagined." Kale nodded, exhaustion and pride written on his face. "We are no longer ghosts," he said. "We are a force they cannot ignore." Outside, the stars seemed brighter than before, reflecting the rising power of humanity. The hidden empire had become a visible force, a rising power that could no longer be underestimated. The aliens had learned a harsh lesson: Earth was alive, humans were clever, and the galaxy would never forget their return. In the quiet moments after the battle, Mara spoke softly to Kale. "This is only the beginning," she said. "We have shown them our strength, but the galaxy still awaits our next move. Humanity will not stop until every star knows our name." Kale looked to the stars, determination burning in his eyes. "Then we keep moving forward. We take what is ours, and we rise." The hidden empire was no longer hidden. Humanity had revealed itself in full force, and the galaxy was watching. The aliens had underestimated them, and the humans had proven that patience, strategy, and courage could overcome even the greatest power. Earth was alive, humanity was back, and the stars had a new ruler rising quietly but surely. The galaxy had changed. The hidden humans of Earth were no longer invisible. Their fleets had struck fear into the alien alliance, their tactics had outsmarted the enemy, and their allies had rallied to their side. Mara stood before the central command, her eyes sharp, her mind calculating the final steps. "This is the moment," she said. "The time has come to reclaim our place among the stars." Kale and his strike team prepared for the ultimate mission. The target was the alien high command, a massive fortress world where the leaders of the oppressive alliance controlled fleets, resources, and the fate of countless systems. It was heavily guarded, almost impenetrable, but the humans had grown in skill, knowledge, and courage. They were ready. Ships from Earth and allied worlds moved silently through space, hidden among asteroid fields and dark nebulae. Every pilot, every soldier, every engineer knew the plan. Strike teams would disable the outer defenses, sabotage energy cores, and cut communications. Mara coordinated from Earth, guiding them like a conductor leading a symphony. The humans' fleet was smaller than the alien armada, but it moved with precision, intelligence, and unity, their greatest strength. Kale led the first wave. His ship darted through laser fire and debris, avoiding enemy sensors. Pilots followed his maneuvers with perfect synchronization, striking at key targets with deadly accuracy. Drones infiltrated the fortress, shutting down power systems and disrupting defenses. The aliens were stunned. They had expected strength, but not intelligence. They had expected force, but not cunning. Humanity had become something they could not predict. Inside the fortress, alien leaders realized the truth too late. Their systems were failing, their fleets crippled, their communication lines cut. Panic spread. They had underestimated the humans. They had thought Earth was destroyed, that humanity was gone. Now, they faced a species united, strategic, and relentless. Mara's plan unfolded perfectly, leaving no room for error. Kale struck at the heart of the fortress. His ship penetrated the inner defenses, targeting the command core. Explosions rocked the fortress, alarms blared, and chaos spread among the alien leaders. Soldiers fought desperately, but the humans' precision and strategy were unstoppable. Allied ships disabled escape routes, leaving the alien leaders trapped and powerless. Back on Earth, Mara watched every moment. "It is done," she whispered as reports came in. The alien command had fallen. Key leaders were captured or neutralized. Their fleets scattered, their power broken. Humanity had achieved what the galaxy thought impossible. Earth was no longer a ghost. It was the center of a rising empire. Kale returned victorious, his ship battered but alive. Pilots and soldiers celebrated quietly. Victory had been hard-earned, but it was complete. Engineers repaired ships, scientists analyzed capture technology, and the allied species prepared for the next phase of rebuilding. The galaxy had seen humanity's return, and it would never forget it. Mara addressed the people of the Hidden Empire. "We have survived. We have fought. And now we rise. Earth is no longer a shadow of the past. It is a beacon of hope, intelligence, and strength. We are the united human empire. The galaxy will remember us, not as ghosts, but as rulers, protectors, and pioneers." Her words echoed through the corridors, filling hearts with pride, hope, and determination. Across the stars, former oppressed worlds began to send messages of allegiance. Humans had not only reclaimed Earth, they had inspired the galaxy. Planets once under alien control now looked to the united human empire for leadership and protection. The Hidden Empire had become a visible force, united not only by survival but by a vision for the future. Kale stood beside Mara, looking at the stars. "We have done it," he said softly. "Earth is alive. Humanity is stronger than ever. And we have allies who will stand with us." Mara smiled. "This is only the beginning," she said. "We have shown our strength, but the galaxy still holds challenges. We will rise further, explore further, and ensure that no one ever forgets humanity again." Outside, the stars seemed brighter than ever. Ships from Earth and allied worlds glimmered as they moved across space, symbols of hope and determination. Humanity had endured, adapted, and conquered. The aliens had learned a lesson they would never forget. To underestimate humans was the greatest mistake they could make. In the quiet moments after the battle, Mara and Kale looked at Earth from orbit. The planet, once ruined and abandoned, now held the heart of a powerful empire. Cities were being rebuilt, technology advanced, and the people celebrated not only survival but a new beginning. The united human empire had risen from the shadows, stronger, smarter, and united. And somewhere in the distance, among the stars, whispers of future adventures and challenges awaited. Humanity had claimed its place in the galaxy, but the journey was far from over. The empire was alive, the people were ready, and the stars had become the stage for humanity's next great chapter. Earth had risen. Humanity had returned. And the galaxy would never be the same.